here, Quinntessential Comix, with Shenanigans.
Pick or choose, one of those.
Yeah, one of those. How you guys doing?
Awesome.
Doing good?
Yeah.
Can I call you Shaggy?
Yes, you can. I prefer it.
Shaggy?
I'm
I
probably one of you that
I only
doesn't.
identify with it just because I know the sound of E is people talking to me.
Yeah.
My real name just doesn't work for me. I don't know why.
No, very few people call him by his real name, so Shaggy is usually what we go
Only
with.
business people do. When it's like, this is professional
or
work.
checks.
Got my tie on, you can call me my real name.
Exactly.
Well, if you're paying me, call me whatever you want. Honestly, that's how it works.
As long as I get my check. So you guys are the creators of Silly Kingdom.
We are.
A project you guys funded using Indiegogo and the kind-heartedness of good people.
Excellent.
Yes.
On the
Excellent.
internet.
kind
Very,
people.
very generous.
Yes,
Good people.
Thank you.
So what motivated you guys to, take all the hard work you do for paid work and make your own comic with it?
When did we start? I think
You said it was last year because of
actually
TCAF.
it was. We decided to launch Silly Kingdom right after last TCAF because we had a table and we had an amazing time. And I realized I was one of the few people that didn't actually have a comic out. Like, all I had was art prints and links to my webcomic and things like that. And it was like...
And I had absolutely nothing.
And he was just hanging
So I was
out.
just
And we
there.
were like, we love making comics. We make comics all the time. Like, since we were kids, we've been
you
making stories
guys
together.
have a couple stories in flight.
Oh, yeah. We did some comics for the Flight Anthology, for the Anthology Project, books as well. And just, it was like, you know what? It's time we finally actually make our own comic. It's been long enough. So we decided to work to make it, and we wanted to take it to San Diego Comic-Con, and then it just became the how do we afford to print, how do we afford to even get to Comic-Con.
Fly to Comic-Con, all that stuff.
Yeah, because it's like, I think I was taking a break from animation work. I was like, because I work freelance most of the time, and so taking a break, money's not really coming in, it's kind of dwindling out. And I'm like, what were you doing at the time?
What was I doing?
What were you doing?
That was a year ago, wasn't it? I could have been doing anything. It's probably video related. I think I might have been working stop motion at the studio and then just wrapping up. So I had nothing to do.
Mm-hmm. And around that time, I started hearing about people using Kickstarter and Indiegogo to fund their projects, and it was like, you know what? Maybe this would work. So we had a script, we had some designs. We didn't quite have a comic done yet, but we had enough work on the internet that people could see things we've done. We had enough of a presence that people could see we were earnest, we were going to make it, and we were going to follow through. And so we just kind of launched it, hope for the best, and it ended up working out awesomely.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we're just super grateful for that. And yeah.
I mean, you guys have a good project, and from what I saw when you guys had your Indiegogo up, you had a fully thought out plan and the right sort of incentives, and it worked.
Yeah.
So why the Silly Kingdom? I mean, it's fun, it's silly, it's all ages, which is awesome.
It was kind of we wanted to make a comic. We just wanted to we have a whole bunch of ideas. We've been working on ideas since we were kids, and we wanted to make something, and this was the closest to being completed at the time because it was a short story that was ready to go. It wasn't a giant project that would take us a couple years to work on.
It wasn't too daunting.
It wasn't too huge, yeah, and basically...
It was attainable.
Exactly, and that's why I like working with anthologies too, because it's like building up the speed to get there, it's not too intimidating that you don't have a giant, now we're going to do our humongous fantasy epic within how much time?
Weirdly, the reason we picked that one was because it was almost going to become daunting, because we were trying to make an animated Bible. We're thinking like, let's make an animated series. Let's see what it's like to pitch that to a network or something.
Yeah.
And we started it with Silly Kingdom in mind, but like the timing and stuff just never worked out, so it kind of got quiet. And then when it was time to make a comic, I'm like, I already wrote the Bible for this.
Yeah, we have a pitch ready to go.
We have the package ready with the characters and descriptions. Let's just turn that into the comic kind of thing. And so it kind of worked out very well for that.
Yeah, this comic has had like a strange life journey where it started as a radio play, and then it was going to be an animation series pitch, and then it became a comic, which I feel is the perfect place for it. So.
Yeah, comics is a great medium to tell stories.
I love it.
I do want to pick up on something you said before where, you guys have been creating stories together since you were kids. I mean, it's rare that you see a brother and sister combo in comics, especially, people don't like working with their siblings all that much. I don't know why. I like my siblings. They're pretty cool. But, when people grow up, they don't really hang out as much. So what kept you guys together? Was it the love of storytelling and comics?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the sibling thing, there's a lot of bickering and arguing siblings, but I always found it's like, we figured out it was smarter to work together than to fight each other, because I'm like, I like writing stuff. You like drawing.
Yeah.
Let's make money.
Like make a living making stories.
You know,
But,
so
like,
that's my side.
Well, I mean, we've always gotten along pretty well, and people, like, friends of mine who used to grow up fighting with their siblings was like, why do you guys get along? It's like you're friends. That's so weird. But it's like we had similar interests because, you know, our dad's a giant geek. He got us into all kinds of stuff, and, like, he shared that with us, and so we were all interested in the same, like, comic books to anime to sci-fi to, like, he introduced us to comic conventions. Our dad took us, and then it was just...
Your dad sounds awesome.
He's so cool.
How does your dad feel about you guys making comics together?
He's ecstatic. He loves it. Yeah, he's like, yeah, him and our mom are like our biggest fans and biggest internet stalkers as well. So, but yeah, they're super happy. And sometimes my dad's like, you should do this in the story. I'm like, well, I'm gonna have to see if he's okay with it. we can't have our creative process.
I'm sorry, Dad.
With our family, but yeah, I mean, it's just kind of worked out in a way that was beneficial for all of us.
I guess like the other half too is like we were both in anime and it wasn't really that widespread like as far as schools were concerned. Like, oh, it's either Dragon Ball or porn. That was kind of it. And so it's kind of like she was the only one who I could be like, let's watch Ktshy, let's watch El Hazard, let's watch like all these like Ranma. Like there was no one else I could share it with, you know, at the time. So it's like. Because then you have to explain, no, it's not, like, there's nudity, but it's not.
I know. I remember trying to explain Ranma episodes to friends, and they just kind of glaze over. I'm like, no, it's awesome.
Well, it's a comedy.
He turns into a girl, and this happens, and, like, it's okay that they're naked. And,
it's hard to explain those things to other people. But it's like, when it's already in the house, it's like, all right, we share a common interest. Let's just talk about this anime series together.
Yeah, it's great, man. You could build up on that. So, why did you guys, you know, decide to go with the Silly Kingdom and go with an all ages comic specifically? Because there, you know, I think there's not enough out there that's all ages, and I feel like a lot of people are focusing on like the dark renaissance of comics. You know, everyone's always like, the Dark Knight, that was the best, and I'm like, we gotta bring kids into it or our industry will die.
Definitely.
From my side, it's just that tends to be how I write. I may not necessarily say I'm a kid's writer, like that wasn't really my goal. But it's just kind of like that's always been my style. It's just what would things that I would enjoy and like to see, and I don't have that dark issues really, so I'm not gonna like make up stuff that I have issues with because I just don't have these kind of like dark.
His story default is very whimsical and very friendly to everybody. Because we didn't write this as a kids project, we kind of wrote it for us, and it just in that sense it ended up also being accessible to kids as well because it's just our sensibilities are almost like childlike, I suppose. Yeah.
I guess also like we do have a younger sister too, and growing up with her, Heather, it's kind of like you know, I would like to entertain her too as like growing up. Like if we have playing toys together, I'm not going to have some, you know, deep melodramatic toy with Barbie and Ken playing together. It's like so kind of like that make believe you would play with your younger sibling. You would also bring that into your own creativity in a weird way. So I would just continue doing that, I suppose.
It's really cool to see how your storytelling as a kid and how your relationships as children like grow.
Everything's molded by everything.
Oh yeah,
that's all.
It's just everything's interconnected in that respect. But yeah, it's been really fun.
So now that the book is done, it's out there. You know, people who contributed on Indiegogo have it. People on the street have it. Slash in convention.
Everyone.
I was on the street. Yeah. I have it.
I was just walking around reading it out there.
So what do you guys doing next? Where are you going from here?
We're doing Silly Kingdom Book 2, which is in production now.
Yes.
Script's written. I just need to get started drawing it. So there's a couple new characters we're going to be introducing, so I need to design those a bit, and we're hoping to kind of the same time frame we had for the first one. We'd like to have it roughed out, pretty much ready to go by San Diego Comic-Con, and then from there go into publishing. So definitely book 2 is next, the closest to being next on our to-do list for comics.
Nice. Are you going to take the same sort of break off of work and stuff to just hammer it out, or is it going to be more gradual?
I'm not right now. I'm going to have to try and find a way to integrate it more because I have a lot of storyboard projects that just came up, and I kind of want to focus on, you know, doing them both at the same time, because for a while there was a struggle about whether I wanted to do comics or animation, because I really love both, and through Flight especially, I met a lot of friends who do both. They work full-time as board artists, they find the time to make comics, so I'm just trying to make sure I can balance it out better. So this book's going to be a challenge in balance, whereas the last book I took time off, so we're going to see how that goes, but I'm pretty optimistic. Yeah.
I believe in you.
You
can do it.
Yes.
So we can follow you guys on Twitter. You guys have podcasts and YouTube channels.
Oh god, where to
yeah.
begin?
Well, every
You
Wednesday.
can just do a list.
Should we start?
Yeah.
Well, basically, you can find my stuff. I'm Ktshy is my username, just KTSHY. I'm on Twitter, Tumblr, Blogger. What else is there? Just if you Google that, you'll find me, and you are.
If I want to find myself, so you're looking for Shaggy Shan in any form that shows up. So there's the Tumblr, the Twitter.
We put ourselves out
YouTube.
everywhere, so you can't help but trip
We
over.
spread ourselves so thin, so you're bound to find something
You
we've
can't
done.
help it.
Otherwise, the main website I work off of is uberfriendship.com, where we do all our video work and stuff there.
Sweet.
And the recently released Geek Trip Maps, if you want to check that out. Yeah. it's
Sweet.
promotion.
Do you guys have a Facebook fan page for Silly Kingdom?
I started one for Shenanigans, which is kind of our pseudo company right now for stuff we make together, because it's our last name Shanahan and then Shenanigans. So
Get it?
Shenanigans.
That's what I was trying to say at the beginning, but I totally
threw
came out
people
wrong.
That was the debate. We're like, should we just call the company that, or is that the hardest thing to write and enunciate ever?
Yeah.
You're like www.
I was like, people are gonna be able to spell it.
Hey, you guys are the ones that do the thing.
I know.
That thing, yeah.
I was gonna add something to that. Can't quite recall, but we also do Shenanigans Live, which is our Ustream every Wednesday. I draw, he rants about stuff,
Yeah.
and we broadcast
I just
live.
complain about movies and things.
And in essence,
Perfect.
if people want to log in and chat with us, is the best way to get a hold of us, because sometimes I get so busy I can't respond to emails or tweets, and people on our live stream will just ask stuff and we'll just answer it on the go, and usually they contribute to the conversation and stuff will go in strange, fun directions. But
You
really
stream
enjoy it.
Wednesday nights.
Yep, Wednesday night, 7 p.m. EST. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, thank you for taking the time to speak with me today, and thanks for Silly Kingdom.
Cool.
Oh, thank you.